In this video, I am going to discuss about the capacitors and dielectrics. But before I start this chapter, first I would like to introduce what is a conductor and insulator. So conductors are those through which electric charge can easily flow. For example, metals, human body, earth, mercury and electrolytes are the conductors of electricity. And in same way, insulator are those through which electric charge cannot flow. For example, glass, rubber, plastic, ebonite, mica, wax, paper, all these comes under category of the insulator. So simply you can say in short way, conductors in which the charge can easily flow and insulator in which electric charge cannot flow. And actually dielectrics are also a insulator. It means dielectric fail to conduct the electricity. So simply we can say here dielectrics are those material which cannot be conduct the electricity. Now capacitance of a conductor. So capacitance of a conductor is the measure to its ability to hold electric charge. As it is clear from its name, capacitance means the capacitance of any conductor is its ability to hold the electric charge. And when a conductor is given a charge, its potential rises in proportion to the charge given. And if a charge Q rises the potential of a conductor by V, then you can say Q is directly proportional to V. It means when a charge is given to a conductor, then its potential is also rises in the same proportion. It means Q is directly proportional to V, or when we remove the proportionality constant, then here we introduce a new constant, and suppose that new constant is C and called Q is equal to CV, where C is a constant called capacitance, where C is a constant called capacitance, and the C depends upon shape and size of the conductor, the surrounding medium and presence of the other conductors nearby. It means from here you can say C is equal to Q upon V. Or simply you can say the capacitance of a conductor is defined as the ratio of charge given to rise in potential of the conductor. It means the ratio of the charge given to rise in potential of the conductor. This ratio will also give the capacitance of that conductor. From here, don't think like this one कि C is directly proportional to Q or C is inversely proportional to V. It not means when Q increases or V decreases, then capacitance changes here. When we increase the charge Q, then in same proportion the potential will be also increases. It means the ratio Q by V for a given conductor is remain constant. So don't think like this one here, when we increase the charge of a conductor, then its capacitance increases, or when Q decreases, then capacitance decreases. Remember this, when charge given to a conductor increases, then potential will also increases in the same proportion, and this ratio will always constant. Now unit of capacitance, C is equal to Q by V, and the unit of charge is Coulomb, and potential V is volt. So you can say SI unit of capacitance is Coulomb per volt, and Coulomb per volt is also called farad. So 1 farad is equal to 1 Coulomb per volt, or you can say here 1 farad is equal to 1 coulomb per volt. Or simply you can say here the unit of capacitance is farad, and 1 farad, or you can say farad, can also be written as coulomb per volt. Actually, farad is a big unit of the capacitance, and its smaller unit is microfarad, nanofarad, picofarad, and 1 microfarad, 1 microfarad, and which can be also written as mu f. This one is microfarad. So 1 microfarad is equal to 10 to the power minus 6 farad. 1 nanofarad is equal to 10 to the power minus 9 farad. 1 picofarad to the power minus 12 farad. So you can see here farad is a bigger unit of the capacitance, and the smaller unit of the capacitance is microfarad, nanofarad, picofarad. So these are we also use to represent the capacitance of a capacitor. And in the same way, the dimension of capacitor, dimension of capacitance, you know, C is equal to Q by V. And for finding the dimension of the capacitance, also at place of V, possible right here Q, you know V is equal to W by Q. So at place of V you can write W by Q. So C is equal to Q square upon W. Q charge, and when you will write a dimension is A T, and since here Q is square, so you will write here Q is AT whole square upon W is work, and its dimension is ML square T to the power minus 2. And now you can say the dimension of this capacitance, A square T square upon, here you can write M L square T to the power minus 2. And finally you will write its dimension is M to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 2, A to the power 2, and when you will take T to the power minus 2 in numerator, then T to the power plus 2, you can write here T to the power 4. So in this way you can say this dimension is M to the power minus 1, L to the power minus 2, A to the power 2, and T to the power 4. So in this way we can write the dimension of the capacitance. Now the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor. Suppose an isolated spherical conductor of radius a meter is placed in air or vacuum, and suppose a charge plus q is given to this sphere. The charge spreads on the outer surface of the sphere uniformly, so the potential at each point on the surface will remain same. As a result, the electric line of forces be always emerging from the sphere, everywhere normal to the surface. So when you will extend this electric line of forces, then all these electric line of forces be appears to come from the center of this sphere. So you can assume this charge q be placed at the center, and when you will consider the charge q is placed at the center, then the electric potential on the surface of this sphere, so potential at the surface of sphere, potential at surface of sphere, and here I would like to clear it here. Here charge q is not at the center. Charge q is uniformly distributed on its surface. But when you will observe this electric line of forces, then these electric line of forces will appears to come from the center of this sphere. So we can assume this charge, or you can say here, for any observer outside this sphere, these electric line of forces will appears to come from the center. It means it will looks like this one, a charge q be placed at the center, and the potential at the surface of the sphere V is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon this distance is a. So capacitance of a spherical conductor you can write C is equal to Q upon V. It means what charge is given to this spherical conductor? Charge is Q, and what is the potential raised on its surface? That potential is V. So you can write its capacitance is Q upon 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q upon A. Now Q is cancelled by Q, and you can see C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught A. It means the capacitance of a spherical conductor whose radius is A is given by C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught into A. And from here you can say C is directly proportional to A. It means the capacitance of a spherical conductor is directly proportional to its radius, this farad. So C is directly proportional to the radius of that sphere. It means larger the radius, greater the ability to hold the given amount of charge. It means more radius, more ability to hold the charge. More ability to hold the charge means more capacitance. And when we will draw a graph between C and A, where C is the capacitance and A is radius of that spherical conductor, then here C is directly proportional to A. So this graph will be what here? Straight line as it is given. Start from the origin. And if suppose a spherical conductor be placed in a medium whose dielectric constant is K, then same expression is written as C is equal to 4 pi epsilon naught K into A. This one is the expression for capacitance of the spherical conductor when it is placed in a medium whose dielectric constant is K. And again from here you can say C is directly proportional to K also. And when you will draw a graph between C and K, means dielectric constant, then again you will get a straight line like this one here, which start from the origin. So in this way we can find the relation between the capacitance of an isolated spherical conductor with its radius. And in the next video I will give you here potential energy of a charged conductor. But here I would like to tell you here potential energy of a charged conductor means when you will give the charge to a conductor, then the conductor will never accept the charge easily. It means to charge a conductor we will do the work, and that work will be stored in the conductor in the form of its potential energy. So in the next video I will discuss this topic, potential energy of the charged conductor. Thank you.